feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Welcome everyone to the third episode of the Total Apex Gamer Geek Out, because I had to remember what we called it last week. But welcome again, and this week we have some pretty serious stuff to talk about and a little bit of levity, but for right now we're going to be talking about something insanely serious. It broke about a few hours ago, but still pretty important, and this is going to be the death of the legendary William C. Dietz.
Yeah.
Or Dietz, how you say his last name. But
he passed away yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the announcement this morning. So he is
Hi, Aunt Mikey. Matt, your buddy from last week.
Yep.
That is not
Red's back. Welcome back, Red. Dietz passed away. I haven't found out. They haven't announced how he passed, as far as I'm aware, with everything I can find. But he wrote the Flood books, which the Halo, the original Halo games were pulled from. So he's also with StarCraft 2, Mass Effect. He did Star Wars, Dark Alliance. The man just wrote amazing stories.
So we've lost yet another legendary figure within the gaming industry, and we offer from Total Apex our condolences to his friends and family.
Yeah.
Sad times.
Yeah, he wrote most of the Mass Effect lore. And all the extended universe stuff was him.
Yeah, so I'm now worried about how the lore was going to be written now for the series and everything. But maybe somebody can. I know a lot of gamers, like a lot of fans, create their own lore to kind of build off of what is already created. But it's different when you finally realize that the lore master himself, Brandon Sanderson of video games. Yes, exactly. So.
Yes, but it is a shame, especially since he didn't only just have a foothold in just the games, he also had a foothold in the book series as well. So that's a huge blow for those who were worshiping the lore of whichever franchise that he was pretty much the master.
My worry is that since now the OG lore master is no longer with us, that they're going to kind of in some case ruin, I guess, the lore by trying to put something new and unhinged in there, because he comes up with the ideas. You kind of have to have the same kind of thought mentality as him if you're going to continue being true to the original lore of everything. Yeah. So my worry is that they're not going to find someone who's going to stay true to that. Matt looks like he has something to say.
So just if anybody feels like they haven't found their niche in life, he started writing and his first book came out when he was 41.
Oh, that is actually pretty interesting news. I love that, because it shows that no matter what age you are, you can find your comfort zone and something that can help you, you can excel at, I guess you could say.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a really cool thing to
his
think
stories, about. his storylines, his lore is going to be just far reaching, like insane reaches. So, and it's going to last forever because unless something happens in the gaming industry where gaming just goes, is gonna his stuff is gonna be remembered for decades, if decades and more, because they're all what he's done.
Yeah, and gaming or not, again, comics, graphic novels, written novels, it's always going to be pretty much like evolve from one form of media to the other, or to another, completely out of left field. But it's definitely got that little gut feeling where it's like you hope that the people that have worked with him for decades understand how he writes his materials. So I'm hoping
they can continue on the legacy.
They continue on with that.
Matt looks like he's found something else interesting about him.
Yeah. He wrote the script for Legion of the Damned game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Legion
interesting.
Of the Damned.
Moose is now in researcher mode.
No, but no, he did the dark, the Star Wars. Which one was it? Dark.
Warhammer.
No, it's Star Wars. It's right
Star
behind his right shoulder. Dark Forces. I couldn't remember what the title was called. Dark Forces with Kyle.
Yeah. Right there.
In the expanded universe that Disney completely said didn't exist.
Nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. I will cross my fingers that they find someone competent. Oh gosh.
I'm gonna cross everything.
As long as it's not the guys who does Game of Thrones. Okay. Matt still told me about the Elden Ring or the Elder Scrolls lore that
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
He helped that guy helped create, and I'm still saddened by the fact that they did that. So destroying like several pages. Rude. That makes the completionist
stuff that they destroyed.
That makes my inner completionist like cringe and cry. You do understand this, right?
Look, I've heard of method acting. I didn't expect there to be actual method writing where it's like, oh, we're going to make this lore incomplete. Okay, how are we going to do that? Takes random papers, throws them into the incinerator. I'm like, sir, now the world will never know.
Yeah, it was like several books of lore.
Yeah.
It was disgusting when I found out how much it was, but it was just like, wow.
I mean, it just goes to show that nothing lasts forever, and that kind of sucks. There's always going to be some sort of missing piece.
No, nothing lasts forever, especially since if the author decides, hey, that's a nice paper shredder right there. Would be so tragic if something were to happen to these manuscripts. Yeah, right. What's that?
It just looks like a box of inspiration. You put it in.
Yes, exactly. But
makes it worth more money.
So yeah, exactly. But continuing on from that, we have an interesting update to a fan favorite game, because does anyone take a guess? Matt already knows, but apparently Subnautica 2 or Subnautica is getting an updated modular
Subnautica
system.
2.
Yes,
they updated the modular building system from the first game, where you could you could place the building, and then in certain sections you could put a window or reinforcement. Now you can expand the window as far out as you want.
That is awesome.
And even change like how big and small you make them. It's amazing.
Oh, that is awesome, because I have seen so many people like trying to put windows into the walls and everything, and they have been they cussed more than they were like reviewing the game, and it was hilarious to watch. But I'm glad they're updating something because
it looks beautiful.
Is this the first Subnautica or the second Subnautica?
Second one. It's going to be the third one in the series, but it's Subnautica 2.
Yeah.
Because Subnautica Below Zero was just an addition.
So is this like a similar like Subnautica 2.5? Like Lion King 1.5?
It is completely new storyline, and it's going to be co-op.
Terrain modifier. Yeah, that would be... if they keep that, that'd be great. The terrain modifier.
Yeah.
Basically, Subnautica 2 kind of leaves off where Subnautica 1 happened, but it's just like new people, but it's a new storyline. On a new planet with new characters. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I understand. Is it the sister that's related? That's the main character of the second one? Or is it a friend that knew the first?
Below Zero, I believe you're looking for your sister. I haven't completed it myself, but I have like 1,000 hours in it.
It did. Okay.
Yeah, the terrain modifier. Yeah, that was something that was in the beta.
I mean, it was breaking the game.
They couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. So why would they suddenly update it now? Because if I understand, Subnautica's been out for quite some time.
Well, no, Subnautica 2.
Subnautica 2 hasn't. Subnautica 2 hasn't even been released yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were going to leave it the same building system, and then they just released that it's a new one. And there's videos, and they look cool.
Okay. Yeah, it looks very nice. But speaking of Subnautica, well, guess they're also back in the news for judge ruling on the reinstatement of Ted Gill. If you don't remember, Ted Gill was the co-founder of Unknown Worlds, and he was ousted by Krafton last year, I think about 9 months ago, from his involvement with Subnautica 2 due to, what was it again? It was failure to...
They said failure to release in a timely manner.
Yeah.
So, but then in court, they tried to change what they said a couple times, and it was bad.
It was, what did they say? I'm looking at the notes. Basically, they reinstated. The judge orders his reinstatement, and I wrote it down. And it basically extended the $250 million bonus earnout period. So,
yeah, there was a huge bonus that they had promised Unknown Worlds leadership, and because they fired them all, they didn't have to pay out. Yeah.
Everyone was assuming that that's what was going on. Yeah, exactly. But there was so much, like, the conspiracy theory was that they were firing everybody because they didn't want to pay them out, and then it was confirmed through other sources that was the case. And even I think Ted Gill actually took to social media saying that this is exactly what was happening to them, and that's the reason why he got fired. But apparently, what was the other reason? It was because he was using assets. Like
they one of the reasons they said in court was they were trying to use assets for other games and stealing intellectual properties, which the judge was like, no.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. Glad to hear he won.
Yeah, I did find see what you guys were talking about, and it seems that not only did he get reinstated, but the judge also ordered to give Ted full control over early access of the Steam launch.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he has full control of Subnautica 2, which is great. Yes. Yep,
so,
it is Ted's property. Yeah.
Yep. It literally, he co-founded the whole freaking game, so, or the whole company itself. So yeah, I'm glad he's back in, because maybe they'll stay true. Because I was worried that when Krafton got a hold of it, or like in its entirety, that they were just going to nuke everything that made Subnautica cool, and kind of just make it into a whole different type of thing. Because the pull for Subnautica, for me at least, was the whole, you're on a seemingly deserted planet except for, just the wild array of wildlife and plants. But then you start finding out, hey, we're not the first people from this company that have been here.
Yeah.
What's going on? it's the whole mystery and exploration behind it that like drew me in and made me constantly watch Let's Plays on it. So I'm like, I want to know more. And I'm like, are they just going to turn into like another like little action-y, adventure-y thing where it's like a linear timeline to where you're just like finding something out and then you're at the end in like 2 hours or something like that. But
yeah, I did see further down that there's still a legal battle going on, even though he has been given full control back, mostly for momentary damages, anything that was caused because of the firing that caused the financial strain for not only him but also the other employees. So they're still going to be working on a phase 2 of this court proceeding. It's still up in the air, but the king is back on the throne, from what I understand.
Crafton is eating it right now, and it's not mac and cheese. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, but for real,
that was good.
Thank you. The thalassophobia that Subnautica instills in you is absolute cinema. Yes, I am not too terribly terrified of the ocean, but it still fills me with like a sense of dread if I look down and all I see is just nothing but an expanse of dark blue as you're just looking down into the deep ocean. And I'm like, Subnautica was. I understand why a lot of gamers are like, yeah, no, we're not playing that game.
I mean, I played Jaws 2 Unleashed. I think that was like a PlayStation 2 game. And I was even like the big bag shark driving around doing a shark bomb onto police boats and everything. That's what it was called, a shark bomb.
Okay.
Jump out of the water and then belly flop like a whale onto the boat and drown everybody.
And even then, you're just
parts where you had to go real deep into the sea that I was always so nervous that something horrible was going to pop out at me. It's like I had the power of Bruce in my hands, and that anxiety still crippled me. I had the power.
What the heck, man?
They expanded the payout, that $250 million that he was supposed to get if he could get the game out in 2025 before he was fired.
Yeah.
But talking about the whole scare part is Subnautica Below Zero. I haven't played Subnautica 1. I played Below Zero because my dad got it for me and the kids thinking it was a multiplayer game. And it's all single player. And I found a mod that I downloaded on all the computers that works with Steam that we could play together. So all 4 of us, it was chaos and it was amazing. I loved it. But I couldn't play that game by myself.
Now, if I remember correctly, I remember the Below Zero, but I also remember that there was another Subnautica version where what was it? Basically you're there to inspect, or is this the demo of Subnautica 2? You're there to inspect the what was it called? The Kahir, what's it called? The disease that's infecting the I cannot remember the name of it.
I think that's for Subnautica 2. That doesn't sound familiar to me. I haven't looked up
it. It might be Subnautica 2, and I'm kind of confusing the two because it's basically like they're going in to research it, and as you're researching it, you slowly start to find out that you are literally going to be isolated on that planet because they're just there for the virus.
I think that was Below Zero.
That was. That was early access.
Yes, thank you.
For Below Zero.
I remember Jacksepticeye did gotten early access to the demo.
I just don't remember. I don't remember it being in the ice caps. I remember it being like on the islands, like where it was warm and everything, not on the ice caps. Maybe I'm confusing it too because it's been a minute since I've watched it, but it could be that. This is what y'all talking about if people are confused. But okay, I might be misremembering. I do not claim to have a very good memory when it comes to stuff, but I surprise myself sometimes.
My first time grabbing it was at Christmas this last year. So that's the first time I ever played Subnautica, even though the kids played it on PS4 back in the day.
back in the day. Oh my gosh, why is PS4
do not have
back
a console that can withstand the power of Subnautica, so I can only watch Let's Plays.
I can only watch Let's Plays too. Don't feel bad. My computer is not up to snuff. I can barely play Blueprints on mine and not get motion sickness. But continuing on, speaking of rulings and investigations, what has happened that the FBI decided to investigate malware on Steam, Matt?
So, yeah, if you downloaded a random low-budget game on Steam for the past couple of years, something felt a little off. Well, 7 games were investigated by the FBI for a series of malware and stealing money from people and getting into their computers and their accounts. They were all indie games. None of them had over many players ever. I think the top one had 50 downloads total.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, what were these games? Do we have a list?
It was the list was Block Blasters, Chema, Dashverse or Dash FPS, Lampy, Lunera, Pirate Fi, and Token Nova. So if you downloaded any of these games, the FBI wants to talk to everybody.
Okay, yeah.
Because it may not seem like a lot, but just the fact that somebody's information was stolen, money was stolen, it's just it's just an invasion. It's off. It's a crime.
There's actually a streamer who lost $32,000 because someone had him download it. His name is Rastaland TV. He's fighting stage 4 cancer right now. And it was during his to get money for his cancer treatments. And
they
it
just
was stolen live while he was streaming.
Oh my
That is sick. That is just sick.
Yeah.
So, and he has it actually posted on his X. And he says he refuses to watch it again because of how painful it was. But yeah, you guys can look it up.
So hopefully somebody
religious up in here.
Yeah, hopefully someone is able to at least get in contact or at least send notice to the FBI or anybody who's investigating this situation. Since it was happening live, it was evidence. There's a chance that he could get that money back, but there's no guarantee.
But they would have to find them first.
They would have to find the person and then, to find the money. But.
Right. Also, the FBI has asked if anybody has played these games to please reach out if they have them downloaded on their computers.
Yeah. And okay, now what is this? Honestly, what could the negative impacts of this happen? Because indie games already kind of get a bad rap for being, bad games. They break. They're just not as well developed as the AAA games or even the higher, like the bigger studio indie games.
It's really gonna make the companies like Epic, Steam, it's going to push them out to say we need to double check everything before it can go live because all these games were Steam verified. And that's why the streamer, I'm not reading his name right now, I went away from it, Rastaland TV, he downloaded the game because it was a Steam verified game.
And
I wonder how the verification process goes through.
That's actually a big old smear on Valve and Steam because they're supposed to be verifying that all of these downloads are, my cat is
good.
Are good. They're not going to harm the people that download them.
Yeah, but verification is just like it can just mean such a variety of things. People would assume verification means that this has been tested, this has been approved, this has been cleaned and scrubbed of anything else. But some people just have to hit that little checkbox or list of checkboxes to make it there. Like, can it run on a computer? What is the parameter of, how it's going to take up space? How is it going to be downloaded? Is it going to be downloadable? And just like all those tiny little questions just because the word verification is on there and just how vague the verification the verification stamp is. It's just so hard to.
It's one of those things where it's a process that probably needs to be overhauled if they want to be on the lookout for potential malware, because a lot of people trust Steam in a sense where they're expecting to go there and not being able to download something that's going to like break something that they have, like their computer, or like get all their information and put it on the dark web, or in some cases steal their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
Dude, seriously, I need to read this stuff before I put them up here. Yes, there was.
I remember there's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, as soon as Steam was notified that the FBI was investigating, they locked down every single game. On the no one could download it again.
Because my question was this an individual, or was this a group of people? Or was it just like they just so happened to find the malware after one game was proven to be theft? I was
very impressed with the Steam's like reaction time to that, because some companies just like, well, it was your fault that you downloaded it, then you should have been more careful. But Steam actually kind of like, okay, yeah, we're taking these down. We're not like allowing for that to happen on our platform. So kudos to them for that. Get brownie points for that. But at the same time, I think they still need to kind of overhaul their verification systems when it comes to stuff like for games. And this is probably, I'm worried that this is going to impact indie game developers, like small time, 1 or 2 person studios.
Oh yeah.
Because like I said, indie games are kind of like, a lot of people think they're sus if they don't come from like a big name studio. And now they're going to have to fight against, well, if I download this, how do I know that you're not going to infect my computer with malware?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly.
And it's also just so unfortunate, because these could just be like people that are just trying to put out a game that they've been working hard on, or they've always wanted to make a game with their own money. So it's just going to deter people further from taking that leap of faith and giving this a chance. Like, imagine if this happened, and how would that affect FNAF? How would it affect Poppy Playtime? How would it affect the Garden of Bam Bam? Or all those other indies that blew up because it had a cult following. Because they gave it a chance. So it's just those.
Right.
There's always somebody.
My dude, I'm gonna put bleepers on you if you don't tone it down, my guy. We are a public company. We get in trouble for this stuff. We can't repeat what you say.
So
but kudos for the passion.
Tim Sweeney got brought up. He actually bought 500 acres of land to stop developers.
Undertale. Thank you. That was the other one I was thinking of.
Big apologies. I appreciate it.
Sorry, Matt. Sorry.
He bought 500 acres just to preserve it. And he didn't do anything about it. Like, he didn't announce it. He didn't do squat. People found out about it from public record. So, Epic Games. Steam has like 70% of the market. And that's why they're being hit with all these lawsuits.
Like, didn't they go into, they recently went into the news for a lawsuit, and then they got hit with another lawsuit right after that, and they're fighting both of those at once, I believe.
They're fighting like 4 lawsuits right now.
Oh, okay, then never mind. I'm behind.
In the business industry, lawsuits are always going to be a part, because no good deed goes unpunished. Not everyone's going to be happy with what you put out there. But there's also viable lawsuits like, hey, this game crashed, took everything, destroyed my file system, whatever. And I would like to have it reinstated or be reimbursed so that I can get another system.
The state of Washington and the state of New York are suing for separate reasons for gambling in games because of loot boxes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
UK is suing them over a monopoly. Because just everything...
Okay.
It's an idea.
Please don't. I mean, it's an idea, but is it a good idea?
It's probably not always a good idea.
But the gambling for loot boxes, apparently they make like millions of dollars on the fact that you can unlock a loot box and get the possibility of a rare item, which
Mm-hmm.
that NY lawsuit is old AF. Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably been going on for a bit.
Yeah, it's been going on.
Lawsuits
for
can take years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It could take about like 2 to 3 years just to get in front of a judge before it actually becomes a full lawsuit.
And they're worried about it instilling, gambling habits within children. And I'm like, I think that I'm gonna like be probably like hated for this, but I'm like, why do your children have access to your funding to play these gambling games?
Yeah. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, like my mom plays Candy Crush, for example, and like there's always like the pack that people want to buy so they can get past the level, and it saves your information. So the kid gets their hand on it, they could easily access the card.
It's like
they just, especially if it's just one button that says like,
I did an article a couple months ago where this woman, she was fighting, or she was trying to get back nearly 20 grand of money because her son had donated all of it to Twitch because he found out that he could basically upload some funds from his mom's card to his debit card because she gave them the access to get like food at school or snacks or something like that, right? During school.
Okay.
Well, he found out that he could do that, and before he knew it, he had drained her entire savings of almost $20,000, and she had to fight for like I think a couple of years to get most of it back. And Twitch didn't do anything; they literally locked it down.
No,
but she contacted the platform that processes the donations, and the place actually said, I cannot remember the name of it. I'm sorry, it escapes me right now. But they said, okay, we will give you back most of your money. So she got about like I think $19,000 back, a little bit more than that.
That's still
she got back most of it. But they said, but your son cannot have another account. She basically had to ban her son from Twitch. And said, you are not allowed to do this anymore.
When my twin sons were, I think, 6 or 7, we played Clash of Clans on my phone together, and they spent $500 because I didn't have a password on my account at the time. I got $350 back, and I have to have a password on my Google account at all times. I can't put the thumb verification.
Nope. Kids
and it's been over 10 years.
Kids are tech savvy. They learn. But yeah. Oh, speaking of V-Bucks, that's horrible.
V-Bucks got more expensive.
They got more expensive, but you're still paying for the same freaking amount.
Yeah.
So they're no good deals or anything. It's literally like, hey, I remember you telling me all this.
Yeah, we talked about that when we were playing games the other day.
Oh, BT does. He told us who you were. Your name escapes me, but your anonymity is crushed, but we will not announce your name online. So
no doxing the friend.
No doxing the friend. I am a true friend. I do not dox online. But yeah, just getting your
world like screenshots.
Oh wow, no. When he was 4 accidentally okay. Single digits like that, it's like what I cannot believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
But he did say you're cool, so does that help?
But anyway, this just further verifies that access is very crucial regardless of who you give permission to, whether it's someone you trust or not. These situations can happen, whether it's an accident or they purposely transfer the funds. It's just a hard thing for it to get back. Like you said, that woman fought for years just so she can get like what 95% of that fund back.
It's one of those things like why the responsibility, who does it fall on when it comes to allowing your children access to technology? Because if you're gonna be okay with them playing games like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, stuff like that, and they have microtransactions as such, are you gonna be responsible enough to say, hey, I need to have a code on this to where my kid cannot, access it all willy-nilly. I'll know it because I want to buy stuff, but the kid has to ask me first, and I have to approve of what they're purchasing.
Yeah. And it's so easy to spend money. It's just a pain in the butt to get it back because nobody wants to give up their cash.
No. Especially if it's something that legally belongs to the people that are running the platform that processes the money, that gets the money to pay for the stuff. Because legally, they now have rights to that money because you got the product, but it wasn't you. Yes. You got the product. Just because it wasn't you that did it means that you still gave somebody the permission to use your money to buy the product.
Yeah.
So legally they're in the clear. But yeah, I try not to keep my cards saved on anything.
Yeah, technology evolves too quickly for any of us to truly understand the consequences of it. When something like this happens, it's just like we keep going in with the next big thing, buying entry codes so that we can spend it safely, but not retrieve it when it was taken.
But so if you are on Steam and you see, and you're probably not going to see any of these games anytime soon because, like Matt said, they are going back to the malware thing. I know we kind of got off track with that.
Oh, we totally got off track.
Got off track with that. It's so interconnected that it's kind of hard not to get off track. But
but talking about the creators of video games making it harder for everybody, with all those what's it called? All those scam. I have friends who are making video games, and I met them over Discord. And then there's all those scams going on where it's like, hey, download my game from this site so you can beta test it for me. I'd love to get your feedback. Just random messages, and that's how one of my friends lost all of his accounts.
Just don't.
Yeah.
If there is no this isn't the case for Steam because it's supposed to be a verified official channel for these games. But if someone's doing that, please don't do that. Please don't.
But there's also
from, rando.
This also begs the question.
No, even friends. Like it was from a friend's another friend's Discord. Because the Discord got hacked, and then boom, he was messaging all of us. Whoever this guy was from Turkey.
And that just also begs the question with this whole malware situation. Is it an isolated event? Has Epic Games said anything, or Ichiro? Or
Ichio?
Ichio. How do I say it? Ichiro?
Oh, you said Ichiro, but it's Ichio, but it's fine.
Ichio. Excuse me, sorry.
It's a knee-jerk reaction for me to try.
Well, either way, these other game sites, have they also...
Molly's autocorrect.
My main question is this also something that other game store sites are also investigating as well? Because this may not be the only place.
I mean, it's something that I believe they should take note of because it could happen to them. But with from what I've seen from these store sites is that they don't have a lot of low budget indie games. There are indie games, don't get me wrong, but it's no longer Prince from Zimbabwe. It's Rajit. Asking you to game test is non-existent in Honey Pop. Oh my gosh, Honey Pop.
Not
Honey Pop.
Yeah,
not Honey Pop.
Yeah, but this whole malware situation is just such a damper on the independent community.
Developer. Yes, it is. I agree with that. It's because if it hadn't been, I guess you could say, if something like this would happen
anyway.
Huh?
Who sounded the alarm for this situation?
Matt, you were handling that story.
Oh, the FBI. The FBI was they announced it that they were investigating. I don't know.
They're investigating in Seattle, Washington, though. Right?
The Seattle division went public with a formal announcement.
Okay.
I was not expecting to hear Honey pop again. Yeah, that game. I did not expect to see that game on Steam. I was pretty shocked.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this whole situation changes the verification process for just like being able to upload a game. It may be a damper on some because it could be a process where they have to have a few days for it to actually be released or approved or verified. But there's
Steam's
definitely going to be
near Seattle.
Okay. This is
Steam is in Bellevue, so yeah.
So either way, it sucks, and hopefully verification. Actually, I hope they actually just tell us what the verification process is. It's like, how are they going to verify it from now on instead of just
how are you going to verify nice for malware?
Steam check mark there.
And moving on, and speaking of sussy matters, I guess you could say, let's return to a fan favorite of Bites Matter and Iron Man mode, which I have heard are some new mods that you can get in Resident Evil Requiem. Musu.
Okay, so yes, we've seen shirtless Leon, we've seen Lady Demetress Grace, but now we're ready to get into the nitty gritty of challenges that people have been installing into Resident Evil Requiem as of late. What do you say?
Baby No Money's cosplay of crop top Leon.
That I showed you before stream.
Okay, just let me.
You're blurring yourself, Musu.
So I have two mods that have caught my attention because everybody's already like speed running through insanity mode. They're pretty much doing non-unlimited ammo with like max number of enemies. And one of them that came up was called Bites Matter. Now this one turns zombies into actual walking infestations. So if you get bitten in Resident Evil Requiem by a zombie with this mode, the bites infect you and it starts draining your health. And if your health and it stacks. So the more you get bitten, the more your health starts to deplete over time. And one way to keep it from doing so is to use green herbs to help suppress the effects, but it doesn't cure it. The only cure for those zombie infections is to use the med injectors, the ones that you find lying around inside the laboratory. So you're going to have to save those for a more dire situation versus using them whenever your health is low, like a herb.
So it's a resource hoard type mod.
Oh, yeah. So it's just like, it persists. So if you get bitten and you get saved, your character is still infected when you play from one to the other. So if Leon gets bit and you go to Grace and then go back to Leon is still infected if you haven't cured it.
That's a nice little little mod right there.
I love the continuation. Makes it a little bit more realistic too, because it's like these zombies are infected with a virus. The minute it like makes comes in contact with blood, it breaks the skin barrier. That makes so much sense.
It does make sense. And
I can't imagine
our resident scientist, so she's like really gung ho for this stuff.
Oh yeah, it's easy to transmit a virus and a bacteria. Well, then again, viruses can't stand too long outside, depending on the variants and the surfaces that they rest on.
That's why they infect creatures.
Yeah, COVID versus HIV. COVID's going to last longer than HIV outside the body. But overall, that makes it very interesting because it actually treats it like an actual horror zombie situation.
Yes, like a real life one of what would happen in like reality if something like that.
It looks like they're bringing in a bit of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Apparently,
apparently your friend gave you COVID once. True story.
Yep.
Matt's like, do not remind me of that. I still hate you for it. Not really. I'm putting words in his mouth. But but
that was who
they did say something that I always get tickled at. Leon Kennedy on a bike was officially given the OK by Capcom because they think it's funny. Everyone thought it was interesting because of how old Leon is, and that he was able to do all those tricks and everything on the motorbike.
Okay,
but here was mine. Musu and me had a conversation about this the other day. I'll let Musu talk, and if she says what I want to say, then I'll let her say it. But she is the scientist, so I'll defer to her. Go, Musu.
Look, I just want to say Leon is timeless. He's forever the golden boy of Resident Evil. The man ages like wine. 1, because, he's Leon. 2, he's Italian. And 3, he's hot. But it's also interesting to see him pretty much still do the stuff that he's been doing since he was in his police uniform. And it's just like, it's not the first time he's been chased by dogs on a motorcycle. It's not the first time he's done those stunts. He is practically, he's the best survival scream queen. Well, without the scream,
best girl,
machine gun king. I don't know. I'm pulling these out. But overall, he is about 49 to 51 years old. He is still taking the beating from Mr. X, from Victor, from any other pretty much zombie he's pretty much had to deal with. Like, yes, he can do melees. Yes, he's incredibly strong. And yes, he's been doing this for years. He's well seasoned. And it's not the first time he's done something like this on a motorcycle. But for God's sakes, he did not stand up when he made the impact when it came to those motorcycle chases, from, jumping from the bus, dealing with potholes. His butt should have been nothing more than a beanie bag full of broken bones and muscle. Because that tailbone, that coccyx, would have been completely destroyed from the very first time that he landed on a gosh darn bus. Because he did not stand up. I'm just saying.
Okay.
The seat takes a majority of the impact, and his butt did not even hover a second. I was watching it. It did not hover a second. I watched it so many times, and it's irritated me. He's Leon, but he's practically a senior.
We have hit Musu's. No, I will not believe this.
Look, I can handle the dog chases. I can handle him axing Victor's motorcycle, which honestly was the funniest thing ever. When Victor Gideon lost control of his bike and he fell over the edge into that massive explosion, do you know what I thought of? I thought of Squidward when his tentacles got mixed into his bike and he fell down that coral hill. Exploded. The guy, it was funny. That was hilarious for some reason for me. But, butt physics don't lie, okay? That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Okay,
Musu,
in the 10-minute rant.
Now that you had me crying, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Me and her were having this conversation. I said, "Well, what makes you think that the mutated T virus that Leon has in his system isn't enhancing his durability because it still wants to survive?" Because we find out that some cases of T virus are kind of have a sentience on its. Physics don't lie.
And yes, I would consider that too, especially for the fact, but it's mostly for the fact that it's deteriorating. It's causing him more damage than it does good.
But it could be one of those things where it's enhancing his durability, but at the same time is degrading his body, deteriorating his body, because the human body is not meant to go through such an evolutionary turn point that quickly. So it would degrade the DNA cells of
now, if I remember correctly, the bike ride is pretty much the key for him to get to the center of the nuke site. And everything before that, he faced a giant spider. He went against Mr. X. Mr. X threw a missile at this man. He has gone through walls. He has hit cars. He has been thrown into poles. I can't imagine the back pain this man has taken. And he's still pretty.
That wasn't a virus though. That was Rogue power.
That was actually a mutational radiation effect. I remember because that scene scared the crap of the scene.
Oh yeah, that was the mutation of Magneto.
And Magneto was inside that giant rotating thing so that it radiated the mutation instead of acted like a virus.
Okay, we're getting off topic. This isn't our ground. If we go down this road, Corey is going to get mad at us, and he's the host of the Entertainment Podcast, which you can watch on Tuesdays at 8:00. So if you want to watch us there, tune in. Then and we talk about entertainment stuff.
All right. So that was
also on anime on Wednesdays
and anime on Wednesdays at 3. So
Yeah. So like I
Shameless
know
plugs.
plot armor. I get it. That's
plot
the
armor. He's the
reason
protagonist.
He's a protagonist.
He's a protagonist. He's gonna have plot armor.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to the second mode I wanted to talk about Iron Man mode. So I was a little confused by this one until I read in parentheses that Iron Man mode means permadeath. And permadeath means death is true. So if you die with this mode, you die. Everything starts over. All of your save files get deleted. And you can't get them back. Every single one of them. So you know what that means?
You're good.
You start at level 0. Everything you've collected, everything you have unlocked, out, gone. Not even a chance to get
hardcore
back.
Mode.
Hardcore mode,
like imagine insanity mode. No unlimited bullets, max enemies, and you got permadeath listed on that. Wow.
I mean, it reminds me. It reminds me of what would happen like way back in early games, to where when you died, you literally lost everything and just had to start all over, and you're just like trying not to throw your very expensive controller across the room because you died, and you're like, I could have won. I'm not throwing.
How do you think I felt when I kept dying because of Card Evil's giant clown thing trying to eat my face off? I didn't have as many quarters as people thought I did. I still died. Hambo's revenge was always my annoying beef.
Props.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Dead Space had this mode. Oh, okay. Your dad is a beast then. You never even unlocked that mode. Your dad's awesome.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Is this the original one or is this the remake?
Yeah, Dead Space 1.
Oh my god.
On PS2.
Oh my gosh.
Dark Cloud, yes. I forgot to say. Always save for stuff like that. Yes, I remember not doing that, and that's.
So access these
Dark
two
Cloud
modes.
2, I believe.
Oh, sorry, I just want to finish. To access these two modes, all you have to do is have the Requiem framework. That's like the base of the requirements. Everything else afterwards,
very expensive.
Very expensive.
Goes into chaos. But
yes,
those are the two Requiem modes that I was very interested in talking about. Finally talking about my thing about the freaking motorcycle situation, but I'm not saying
Musu's scientific itch has been scratched. Because
look, I don't do physics as much, but I know pain.
You know that now.
And speaking of
art is going to be a clip.
And speaking of scratching an itch, the next topic that we are going to talk about may scratch the itch of a lot of people, because now one of our other favorite indie games that we all know and love, Poppy Playtime, now has merch. I see.
Yes, it does. In fact, it has a new merch store. So the initial store is Poppy Playtime. I believe it's poppyplaytime.store.com. Now we have playtimeco.store.com. And they have just announced a pre-order for the, drumroll please, Inside Out, at least
Inside Animal.
Wrong side Adam, right side Adam, right?
No, they're
called Adam.
Wrong side Animals, yeah.
Yeah. And they recently have pre-orders for 3 of the plushies. You can get yes.
I'm gonna be a boomer real quick. What is Poppy Playtime?
So Poppy Playtime has been an indie game that has been thriving around the gaming community. And it's about a person who used to work at a toy factory that returns to find out what happened
not evil.
to his co-workers on the day that all of them disappeared. So you're pretty much going through a factory being chased by giant mascotted fluffy creatures that have teeth and a big old glassy smile while they chase you down a corridor.
If Chuck E. Cheese
find
was
out
evil.
that imagine if Chuck E. Cheese was evil and it was a toy factory instead of
It's got 5 chapters so far. We're expecting a 6th one to go into development if it's not already in development. But it's a really interesting storyline because there's
A very disturbing.
Very disturbing storyline because you start to figure out like what happened to the humans, and we say humans because a lot of the characters that you bear witness to, that you come in contact with, are either following a Five Nights at Freddy's thing to where their souls or something are shoved into dolls, or they have been what's the word? I guess you could say
transform, I guess would be the best
transform, because
it's more of a surgical transformation instead of a spiritual, because they pretty much turn not just the adults, but also there were kids residing in this factory that gets explained in chapter 2 and 3, where they used orphan children and turned them into toys so that they could be more forthcoming with their products, to give them living, breathing products they could sell.
Now, I don't know if Markiplier hates Puppy Playtime, because I have seen him play it, but maybe because Markiplier hates a lot of games that he plays.
I recommend using Jacksepticeye because he actually did a cameo in, I think, the second game.
Yes.
FPS.
Markiplier does not like Poppy Playtime.
Yes.
Nah.
He has a problem with the running mechanic of being chased.
Yeah, the mechanics in Poppy Playtime are really janky sometimes, I guess you could say. In the more recent chapter, the chasing that you do like at the very beginning of the game, it's very hard to figure out where to go because of the intense situation. So so a lot of gamers died early on in the game so many times because they couldn't figure out a way to navigate the terrain.
Yeah.
So
chapter
I'm not surprised.
Set the tone of what the game is going to be. You're pretty much running through corridors, trial and error, getting attacked by Huggy Wuggy.
There you go.
And that's the Sally mascot with the teeth. As you're going through like corridors where you don't see the signs, there's no indicator unless you actually turn your head and look and go through whatever passage is
and
so it's really hard for you to figure out the ways of the chase.
The gamers are also panicking because Huggy Wuggy literally just jumps out at you and you start the chase scene like right then and there, and so you're panicking, and when you're doing FPS you have to do that whole little like quick movement and everything, so you're switching from one side to the other, which gives me motion sickness every single time. It's like but it's very hard to figure out like where you need to go, whether or not it's a ledge. I saw like one or two gamers literally jump off the edge into an abyss and die because they thought that was the way to go, but it was actually the other way. But it looked like a fork, and they're just like, go right. It looks like here's a jump. Not a jump. It was a drop.
Oh yeah, and there was also that chase scene in the second chapter when it comes to the game station where you're being chased by Mommy Longlegs. Mommy Longlegs' chase scene is a lot more adventurous, but it is so much more confusing. Yes, there are some light indicators when it comes to the grab pack that your character is equipped with, where you're supposed to swing on something, but other times it can look like you need to drop down a hole because the path in front of you is blocked off, even though you have the ability to swing from one side to the other. It's definitely one of those. Jump. Yeah, and for some people that is it's very confusing, and since that is a staple, it continues through all of the chapters, and that I think that's where Mark's frustration comes from. The fact that you still can't tell the difference between what is a chase scene, what's the right way, or what happens if you get caught or you take a wrong turn.
So, but we got sidetracked again explaining.
So that Poppy Playtime, I highly recommend.
We're on the rails in another county.
We're sidetracked again. So the merch with the inside, it's the wrong side animals.
Yes, and you can pre-order them at the playtimeco.store, and you can choose between Bindle Boogie, Doodle Bones, and Blanky Blanks. And that Blanky Blanks is the one that you can draw on.
Dude, We don't need an
Don't
excuse to
apologize.
talk about.
Yeah.
We don't need an excuse to just gush about games.
Oh yeah, don't
For,
worry about it.
20
We'll get
minutes. It's not your
derailed
fault.
so easy. Can we
Yep.
bring it?
Oh
back?
yes, yeah, but did
It's
you
like
see what we
whether
were just
or not we
talking
can bring
about?
it back to the actual conversation that we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
We've been fussed out for it before, so it's not going to be the last time.
Yes. So continuing on with the merchandise, they don't just have the plushies. They also have Chapter 5 merch that you can pre-order, or some of it is mostly available on the store.
Ooh, really?
But if you can't wait too long to get your hands on a plushie, you
Yes,
can
teacher.
go to the Poppy Playtime store and find a new arrival selection of the Nightmare Critters. They are finally here, and I am so glad, because these are
They
the
can stay where they
reverse
came
of
from.
the Smiling Critters.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
So help me. I'll adopt them all.
Goodness.
But these critters, they kind of scooted under. I think when it was in Chapter 4, when you're trying to fight off the doctor, they were the critters that you were trying to avoid in that maze of gridware and cages, where you had to like flip a switch and move a battery in order to unlock a door. So those were
Wait,
the
weren't
Nightmare
they
Critters.
Wait, are those the ones that if you turned off the light, they were scared of the light, and if you turn it off, they literally
No,
just
those
shanked
are-
you in the dark?
Those were the actual inside, wrong side animals. I'm talking
okay.
about Chapter 4, where you're pretty much
okay.
like
I missed that part.
sicked on by a bunch of them, by the
Oh
doctor
yeah, I
when you
remember
first
now.
land.
I remember
Yes.
them. I remember.
So like
now,
I
yeah.
think it's like
Okay.
right after you find Riley's body to get the
Mhm.
key to open, I think, a door to the section
made me
that you
gasp.
were looking for.
It's like,
But yeah, they were so cute, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what are these? I've never heard of them. And I'm just so excited because they're 9 inches tall. They're 9-inch plushies. They're so cute, and I just want to hug them and squeeze them so much. And I know what you guys are saying. You guys are dirty. So yeah,
you would have
so it's
you
not
would have thought the same thing if it had been one of us saying it. Musa.
I know, but I
You
was
it.
passionate. But other than that, other than those plushies, there is so much apparel that has been added, not just from chapters 1 through 4, but also 5. They've got t-shirts, they've got socks, they've got hats, they've got hoodies, they've got crew sweaters and jackets. Oh my gosh, it's just such a variety. I highly recommend everybody check it out.
Musu is
I was ignoring the whole thing until I saw Molly's face.
Gosh, you guys are worse than the
I'm
guys at
sorry.
Legends of Adventress.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But still, I would have laughed. Yes, I would have laughed.
Gideon!
But yeah, it was pretty cool to see that on the store. And what actually triggered it was a thing that you sent me earlier, Molly, when it comes to a video that was recently released before the quote-unquote commercial for these wrong side animals. That was the extended cut of the intro commercial to Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. And that was a bit more gruesome and in depth in visual aid of what you pretty much witnessed at the beginning of the game, but you get to get an extra 30 minutes out of it. And
so we can expect
you get to see more
about this.
Yeah, you
later,
see
right?
more gooey, fuzzy babies
we
getting
all
pulled into pieces, surgical equipment, organ extractions. And then it just like pretty much leads to the exact same
Terrible
situation.
house fire at the family reunion.
Yes.
We all scream at the terrible house fire at the family reunion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
no idea how many
So
times I've
before we wrap up,
Yes,
what about
we're over time.
the Nope animatronics? Since we're talking.
Oh
about
yes,
the
you
animatronic
forgot
stuff.
to talk. We forgot to talk about the Nope animatronic.
Well, I was
Musu.
wondering to say that, but I didn't know if we had time because we were running.
We
late.
always have time for a Nope. Okay.
Yes!
This is our
my
Nope session.
This
This is our Nope session. And in case,
I watched this video and I was like, nope.
okay, and just in case people are curious about what our Nope session is, it is a newly instated session to where we found something that somebody has created from a horror game and made it IRL, and we're like, nope, and continue on our day because we don't want to die a horrible, gruesome death, just in case something goes out of control. So
See it
Musu,
on your screen wasn't
we
enough.
are noping. We are noping this creation that somebody made. Musu, please explain.
So, in Resident Evil Requiem, the very first encounter that you face with some sort of abomination in Grace's perspective is called the Girl. Now, she used to be a young child by the name of Marie, but she was a victim of Victor Gideon's and his researchers' experimental tests and turned her into practically a 10 to 12 foot ghoul that not only craves flesh, both dead and alive, but likes to kidnap people, bring them into some weird dungeon, particularly filled with dead dolls, or if you're on her bad side, decides to climb through the ceiling, drop down, and then chase you down corridors just so she can rip you in half.
You know, alien style.
See, this is from Resident Evil 9.
This is
Resident Evil Requiem BT dubs.
Yes. So she technically is the first baddie you encounter. Aside from zombified.
It's the first creature that you encounter that's been subjected to Victor Gideon's torturous experiments. Because the first baddie you come in contact with is Victor Gideon himself. Well, if you're not counting
and the police officer that he infected at the beginning. That's why I said abomination.
Yeah. So continuing on, somebody has made a real life animatronic version of the girl from Resident Evil Requiem, scaled to size, and we're like, no. If we, because animatronics and horror do not go together. If we can remember the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, it's like nope.
I've seen
and you all can
a lot
look
of
up
creators.
A girl Resident Evil 9 images and see what she looks like, but yeah, it is nope.
I've been meaning to ask. I never got a chance to watch the video before this, but do you know if she has the ability to move and make noises?
I couldn't watch the video. I saw it and I went, no.
We should also talk about the photo from Wesker's. Hold on.
Yes, we'll show you this wonderful video, or at least a picture of it. But yeah, I was very impressed by the fact that it was a life-size version of it. I can't imagine how long that took.
Let's see.
Yeah,
to look up and see a picture.
I've seen a creator crochet.
I'm getting there.
And I've seen a team of animatronic of an animatronic couple build Dog Day.
This is a girl from Resident Evil 9, courtesy of the fandom.com wiki, just in case we get struck by something. But good image. Found the video. Yeah, this is the girl. Sad backstory, but doesn't detract from the fact that she's is scary.
Like 8 foot tall, by the way.
Oh, 8 foot tall.
She's scary, and you don't want anything to do with her.
No, you do not.
Grace is like 5 something, and she's like 3 feet taller.
Yep. Grace is doing this the entire time. Like,
nope. So, like, imagine you're in the medical facility, standard height for a corridor, and she still has to hunch over to come after you. Yeah, that's horrifying.
I would not do well if I saw it either, Kristen. I would not. I would. I would have been the first ones to like not survive.
Please.
No, if I heard her and I saw her down the hall, I was going to say, if you put her in a room with her and Lady Dimitrescu, I'm pretty sure Dimitrescu would either turn her into a pet or just
probably.
Kill her on spot.
Well, that because
she's a girl.
Because she's a girl, she's got a child mentality, even though she's like been, monsterfied and everything. And Lady Dimitrescu still had all of her like smarts about her and everything.
She still had her feminine features.
I guess. Yeah. Unless you have a fly swatter.
You can't do that to a girl,
I can introduce you to that.
But yeah, this...
Well, I knew about it. I just didn't realize like the context of which it was used. I knew about the fly swatter. I just didn't know why it was important until you told me. So... Which is like, I'm not talking about this again.
But yeah, if anybody wants to watch that video, it's currently on YouTube, and it's who was the person that made it?
Why you gotta ask such difficult questions?
Why do you have to ask questions?
Why is it that I have to ask questions? I don't know. Maybe
because she's a scientist. That's why she must.
So you're saying that you don't ask questions because you're not a scientist?
No, I ask questions because I'm a historian.
All you ask is why.
All I ask is why and why did you do that?
Tell me why.
Yeah, little Jim is spelled Jem.
Little
Made
Jim.
the creature
Okay.
and Grace.
Oh, so she made creature and victim. Okay, monster and victim. Okay.
Oh, how lovely.
So
She used one of the Costco skeletons. I'm watching the video.
That's fantastic. Great
Little
bone work.
Jim. That's how you spell the name right there.
Little Jim. Okay.
That is not.
But
Apparently,
yeah.
it rejected.
Skeletons.
It rejected my comment because it thinks it's spam. Apparently, okay.
But yeah,
Oh,
if
because-
but yeah, that looks like quite a feat. I can't imagine how long it took her, especially when Requiem
I
came out on the
sent
27th.
you I sent you the link.
But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. We're actually 10 minutes over, but we had a very invigorating conversation, as we always do when we talk about games and the gamer geek out of Total Apex, because this is our normal insanity for when we actually do have conversations
It's a
about
good
gaming.
way to start the week.
Yes,
It's a
very
great
good way
way
to
to
start the
start
week. The
Talking about
energy.
Bike
Yes,
physics.
Butt physics. But if you're interested in watching more, we are going to try and always be on Monday at 3:00 Eastern Standard Time, 12:00 Pacific Standard Time, because Matt decided to, live on the West Coast like we decided to live on the East Coast.
I don't get to control where I was born.
I understand. I don't get to control that either. I'm the opposite. I'm on the opposite side with the same storyline. I was born over here, never left. Anyway, but if you would like to watch more, please join us on Mondays at 3 p.m. EST.
Yeah.
EST. Left coast, left coast, best coast. And 12:00 PST. If you want to enjoy more of our insane conversations, we also have podcasts for both entertainment on Tuesdays at 8:00 EST, and I can't remember. I'm not doing the math in my head for that one.
5 p.m.
5, yeah. Matt's the PST dude, and then we have wrestling on Thursdays at 7, and sports podcast on Fridays at 8 or 7 as well. So,
Oh yeah, Nicole is playing Poppy Play.
Yes, this is true. Watch
Yay!
Nicole. I've got to get her back on that because
dive into the
she was playing
of Poppy Playtime.
But if
Send
you're
your
like
so much going on now, we have to find time for.
Yes, we have to find time.
Stuff on here again.
And if you liked our podcast, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell for all notifications so that you are aware of when we come back on, so you can enjoy our unhinged humor once again.
And of course, if you want to bother your friends and trigger them the same way I was triggered on this podcast, share. Let them know that we're here to ruin their day. Or to let them know they're not alone in their
in their weirdness. They are not by
friends.
themselves. Trauma bond with us.
Trauma bond with us. Yay!
But that's all we have for today, folks. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all. Stay safe.